Michael Cohen, the prosecution's star witness against Donald Trump in his hush money trial, just admitted to all of his lies. Well, maybe most of his lies, because he's painting himself as a professional liar at this point. Michael Cohen has continued to talk about Donald Trump and his defense team on social media, as Donald Trump has been silenced with a gag order. Although this has not helped Cohen as much as it may prove just how biased he is against the former president. In fact, much like Stormy Daniels, Michael Cohen admits that he also hates Donald Trump. Now, there's a sequence between the defense team and Judge Juan Merchan that shows that the judge may have more on the line than we think. His daughter is working with top Democrats, and she's being paid by the millions of dollars to continue to attack Donald Trump. Now, if Merchan fails to put the former president behind bars, it's rumored that his daughter will lose financial support from these Democratic officials. And knowing Trump, you know that he's not going to let that slide, because it shows that there is a hint of bias, which is why he blasted Merchan as he spoke to reporters outside the courthouse. He also used statements from people and news outlets that usually support Biden, but they're now seemingly taking his side during these trials.
Judge Merchan is having second thoughts. They haven't come to close to proving, they have not come close to proving fraud or that any fraud has taken place. There's no fraud here. There's no crime here. This is 4 weeks of keeping me from not campaigning. Jonathan Turley. Can't imagine any competent lawyer would not be embarrassed by what has happened in this courtroom. This day is truly going to go down as a day of infamy for the New York legal system, which is true. The whole world is laughing now at the New York weaponized legal system. Watching this unfold in that courtroom as a lawyer is really deeply disturbing. They keep on referring to these documents. The documents don't move the ball. The documents show that the NDA and a payment that is not in dispute, this is Jonathan Turley. They're not unlawful, and as a federal campaign contribution, there is absolutely no problem. There's no problem here. You know, the FEC wrote this off. FEC, the Elections Commission, Federal Elections Commission, they looked at this years ago, and they took a pass. They said there's no problem here. Tim Scott, objective is to keep Trump off the campaign trail. That's all they're trying to do, keep him off the campaign trail. Here's the New York Times that just came out a little while ago, where we're leading in every state, the 5 key states, we're leading very substantially, I might add. So it's really a very sad day for the country. It's sad for New York. I mean, New York, that a judge who's highly conflicted, at a level that nobody's seen before, can possibly, just think of it, and you should go out and check it out. But we have a corrupt judge, and we have a judge who's highly conflicted, and he's keeping me from campaigning. He's an appointed New York judge. He's appointed. You know who appointed him? Democrat politicians. He's appointed. He's a corrupt judge, and he's a conflicted judge, and he ought to let us go out and campaign and get rid of this scam.
And to further prove the narrative that Judge Juan Merchan is in fact conflicted, independent journalist Laura Loomer posted something recently on X. She says that the Biden-Harris campaign is a client of Lauren Merchan's company, Authentic Campaigns. It's come out that President Biden is paying this company for digital and multimedia consulting. Loomer then posed a question that if Lauren, Judge Juan Merchan's daughter, produced the video of Joe Biden mocking Donald Trump over being in court. It has many analysts wondering what would happen if Judge Juan Merchan isn't successful in finding Trump guilty. Now, by the way, the video from President Joe Biden talks about Donald Trump losing 2 debates to him back in 2020. Now, does that include the debate where he used a letter from 51 former intelligence officers lying about Hunter Biden's laptop? And of course, we have to address the elephant in the room. If the Biden-Harris campaign is paying Merchan's daughter for her services, could this be seen as them paying off the judge to convict a political rival in court? No wonder Donald Trump feels as if this trial is a complete sham. And we're not straying too far from it, because this brings us to yet another sham, Michael Cohen. So during the questioning of Cohen, he admitted to a number of lies that he told throughout the years. He said that he opened a bank account under false pretenses, labeling it as a management consulting company, but it was going to be used to pay off Daniels. Cohen admitted lying about this account and even hid it from his wife, who says that she would have been angry at him for paying off an adult film star. He also said that he lied on his invoices that he billed to the Trump organization to get reimbursed for the payments to Stormy Daniels. It was him who labeled labeled them as part of his retainer agreement. So it's a legal expense for Donald Trump's company. And he also had to reveal that he secretly recorded a conversation between himself and the former president. Now, that's not a good look, because it sure looks as if even his own clients cannot trust him at all if he's willing to go ahead and record their private conversations illegally. And there is also something else pretty interesting that happened between Judge Juan Merchan and Donald Trump's lawyer, Todd Blanche. So Blanche started his cross-examination by introducing himself to Cohen, although he added a little bit of something to this unorthodox introduction. He told Cohen, "You went on TikTok and you called me a crying little shh." Now, obviously I can't say the term, but you guys can pretty much connect the dots here. So Judge Juan Merchan, he then suddenly called up the lawyers to the bench. He asked Blanche why he was making this about himself, to which Blanche said that he was merely proving that Cohen was biased. And do you know what Merchan said? He said, quote, "It doesn't matter if he has bias toward you. It doesn't matter. The issue is whether he has bias toward the defendant." So Cohen goes on social media and he criticizes Donald Trump for his every move. He calls out Donald Trump's legal team and he cusses them out on TikTok.
Cross-examination begins today for Donald Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen. He's on the witness stand for a second day in the hush money trial against the former president. ABC's Rena Roy has more on what happened in the courthouse.
Donald Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, grilled by defense attorneys on the stand. Once one of the former president's closest allies, Cohen testifying about the alleged hush money payment he made to Stormy Daniels days before the 2016 election. Defense attorney Todd Blanche combative, asking about comments Cohen made about him on TikTok, which were promptly stricken from the record. Cohen later conceding he has also said disparaging things about Trump on social media. And when pressed on if he wanted Trump to be convicted, Cohen said he'd like to see accountability. And when pressed, he ultimately responded, yes. Earlier, prosecutors wrapping up their questioning, lasting 9 hours over the course of 2 days.
Does this not show you that he has bias against Donald Trump? Because it sure does seem like it. Which now brings me to TikTok and his monetization of his criticisms of Donald Trump. Cohen was forced to admit that he was making money off of attacking Donald Trump on social media. And not just that, he acknowledged that he often references him during social media appearances and has made at least $3.4 million from his 2 books about the former president. So much like Stormy Daniels, Cohen is in this to make money off of Trump, making it very clear that both of them attacking the former president creates a cash flow that benefits them. But what are we really talking about here? U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson, he commented on this and he showed his support for Donald Trump. He says that this is not about justice. It's all politics here, adding that the crime that they're accusing Donald Trump of is falsification of business record. However, he adds that it's very clear that Trump is not the bookkeeper of his company. But what do you guys make of this? Do any of you think that Donald Trump will be convicted in New York? And if so, will it be fair to him? And as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to continue to research and find out all the facts that you guys need to know about before this election, because it will impact the election for sure. Before I go, I just want to thank y'all for hitting the like button. Thank you for subscribing to the channel and sharing these videos with your friends and family, and I'll see you in the next one.